Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja, and I am Gladys Kodambu. Yes, today's program promises to be informative, engaging, and you wouldn't want to go anywhere because it's going to tell you how to put more money in your pocket. We have conversations loaded for you to enjoy today. And we begin with our motivational talk to actually put you in the right frame of mind. And Cornelius Haruna has something for us. Let's listen.
The power of kindness. Kindness implies going beyond yourself or living beyond yourself. It implies selflessness. It implies a life of generosity. Kindness is a virtue that we must imbibe. Little acts of kindness can save the day. The story was told of a young man who was working in a particular factory. And every day after close of work, he would greet this security man positioned at the gate before going home. And when he was coming back or coming in the morning, he would do the same, greet the man every morning. This was exceptional. Many other persons in the factory or working at the factory didn't do this. So this particular security man became very, very fond of this young man. On a particular day, this young man was going in and he greeted the elderly man as usual. But after close of work, this security man waited endlessly for this young man to pass as usual and greet him again because that meant a lot to him. But he didn't see this young man. So he waited for a very long time. All the workers had gone. Then he realized something must be wrong. He knew this young man had not passed by because this young man would usually or normally greet him. So he went into the factory, sort of forced a particular door open, only to realize that this young man was unconscious. What had happened to him? He had mistakenly locked himself up in a particular room that was not okay for life, a room that was meant for certain kind of mixtures. He had gotten himself in there and the gas had gone into his system and he was unconscious. It was this man who rescued this young boy, took him to the hospital, and he was all right. His kindness saved the day. You don't know what kindness can do in your life. A little act of kindness you show to people, a smile there, a word of encouragement there, a kind gesture there, helping someone in need, you don't know what it will do in return. But you must realize that kind people build better society. Kind people make better citizens. Kind people make better parents. Kind people make better children. Kind people make better teachers. Kind people make better pastors. Kind people make better workers. Kind people make better employers. Kind people will always make a better society. So be kind. It is powerful. Kindness is powerful.
Yes, that was The Power of Kindness by Cornelius Haruna, and he has told us how to be kind because it's like a seed you sow that you reap later in life. Yes, show kindness to everyone and anyone around you. Next is our health segment. You know, this year 2026, we want you to live actually healthy. So, Dr. Ajibade is standing by.
I wanted to zone in on a very interesting topic, which is your dentition or your dental health and your dental hygiene, I beg your pardon, and your heart health. Some of you may be wondering, what in the world does do your teeth have to do with your heart health? And I got to tell you, it was a shock for me too when I first discovered it. And right now there's been a ton of research in the connection between the heart and their teeth, or the health of your teeth. So we're going to go into that for the next few minutes. Here's an interesting quote, which you probably will shock you. People with gum disease, that's gum disease, also known as periodontal disease or gingivitis, have 2 to 3 times the risk of having a heart attack. Think about that. 2 to 3 times the risk of having a heart attack, stroke, or any other serious cardiovascular events. 2 to 3 times. Isn't that shocking? Now, another thing I heard about too, another thing I've studied and seen is that people with gum disease, or if they have bad teeth, have higher risks of brain problems like Alzheimer's, dementia. They are more likely to have diabetes. They have a higher risk, think about that, a higher risk of having a miscarriage or premature abortion, or an abortion, spontaneous abortion. All because your teeth and your dentition are not in place. And I'll explain the reason why in a few minutes. But think about that. I know I keep saying think about it because I really want you to think about this. Most of us in Nigeria don't brush our teeth more than once a day. And it's usually in the morning. Do you know when the best time to brush your teeth is? At night, before you go to bed. Because that's when all the food that you've eaten throughout the whole day, all the things you put in your mouth the whole day, that's when you're sleeping, the bacteria begin to work on it, and then you end up with a foul breath in the morning because of all the gunk and the stuff that has been there. So you want to think about that. People, you're not only supposed to brush your teeth twice a day, at least twice a day. You're supposed to floss your teeth regularly. And in addition to that, and in the Western world, this is like standard practice, you're supposed to have your teeth cleaned twice a year. Twice a year. Some of us have never been to the dentist to clean our teeth, but it's standard. And it's, in fact, part of your employee benefits in many parts of the Western world is to have standard twice a year cleaning of the teeth. Why is all that important? What's the relationship? What's the connection? We're now finding out that there are certain bacteria, and these are the bad bacteria now, that tend to grow and germinate and multiply when you have gingivitis or periodontal disease. They in an unhealthy environment in the teeth, these bacteria multiply and they find their way into the bloodstream. And when they get into the bloodstream, they have a predilection for the lining of the blood vessels, and they tend to stay there and embed themselves there and cause what is known as inflammation. Once inflammation is stimulated, it's like a, what do you call it, an SOS signal. It's like calling on all the other bad guys to come and find and deposit within the lining of the gut where they are. Lining of the blood vessel. So these bad bacteria act as a focal point for the deposition of cholesterol, platelets, clotting factors that adds to the blockage or to the obstruction of the lumen through which blood must flow. And that is eventually what can trigger a heart blockage, a blockage in the heart, or a blockage in the brain. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it's a key factor in many of these things. And I think it's also a good news for us too, because that's something we can control. Everybody knows everybody can brush your teeth twice a day. Come on, you can brush your teeth twice a day. You can even floss your teeth regularly. So let's start there. Start first of all by paying more attention to the health of your teeth and the health of your gums, and you'll be glad you did.
Yes, that was Dr. David Ajibade telling us about heart disease. I'm sure you now know better. You've learned a thing or two. Next, we go on this quick break, and after that, the program continues.
It's time for us to say our goodbyes on the program. As usual, I remain your host of the most, Omaride with Erese, and I'll always be here with my bestie.
Je m'appelle Oguntayo Olaniposi Justina.
Speaking French now, from Jordan to Sweden.
Adios.
welcome you on today's ride on the show Good Morning Abuja.
This is Window on Abuja.
We have everything it takes to compete with any nation all across the world.
How do we make it? You are not ready to produce.
Have been contributing to the development of your kingdom.
Hello and welcome to Young Hearts.
Our focus today will be on hepatitis B.
Ladylike!
This is Entertainment Gist.
In the 14th century, 15th, 16th century, and even 17th.
That is for zakah to cure our greed.
The purpose why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to create humanity.
The Bible talks about a man called Apollo. This is NTA Abuja Channel 5.
See you same time.
And have a great and blessed week ahead.
This is still Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And yes, I told you we have lots of conversation for you that you would want to actually join in, because you wouldn't want to miss it. And my first guest today is Samuel Adams. He is a business developer. You know, this is the year 2026, so you need to know what to do to actually be good this 2026. Yes, pocket-wise, as in money. Okay, so he's going to be talking about inflation and high cost of living in Nigeria. What to do? What should Nigerians expect in 2026? You know, we need to spend less and still have value for what we are getting. So Samuel Adams is here to do justice to that topic. Welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you know this is year 2026. We have plenty things to enjoy. But you will be telling us what to do and how to go about it. So first, let's start with inflation. Okay, let's know what is actually inflation.
Inflation is the sustained increase in the price of goods and services over time in an economy, and this impacts on the purchasing power of money, right? So what that means for the layman, what that means is, let's say 1,000 naira can buy you 10 packs of Tom Tom, and then the following year, the same amount of money can buy you like 7.
Okay, 7. 7 is no one.
Still fair, yeah. Okay. So when what you buy is becoming, when what money can buy is beginning to affect the purchasing power of money, right? Goods and services in general. For example, the cost of servicing household appliances increases over time as well. So it affects both goods and services.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the main factors driving high cost of living in Nigeria today?
There are a number of factors, but I'll try to itemize them with the common ones. One, cost of energy, right? You remember when the current administration came into power and subsidy was removed?
Yeah.
You saw how that the price of things jacked up, right, within that short space of time. So what that means is, for the guy who is producing, maybe his budget for production is 1 million naira on let's say fuel monthly. And then suddenly he's now going to pay, for example, 1.5 million in fuel cost. Of course, it will impact on the price of goods that are going into the market. And at the same time, you see also sometimes inefficient policies, right? Government inefficient policies can affect, inflation. It can stir it up. We also have insecurity. Agriculture, for example, we see a lot of farmer headers clashes, in rural areas, in places that have been like major food banks of the nation. And so less farmers are producing foods, and the ones produced are being destroyed by these events. And then you see food becomes scarce, and then prices are jacking up. The cost of transporting them again to the market is also another thing. And of course, nobody goes to the market to count stars. Everybody wants to make some profit.
Exactly.
So yes, so when more resources goes into production, there's bound to be increase in prices.
Wow.
Yeah, basically. So we'll just summarize it at that.
Okay, so how is inflation affecting the average Nigerian household, especially low and middle income earners?
Now you are going to see basically people are barely struggling to get by with basics, right? Essentials. So, for example, a family, let's say on a 100% budget, is now beginning to spend 70% of their income on food. It means that other areas are beginning to suffer. So they'll have to resort to credit facilities, loans, and debt. They start getting into debt to be able to meet up. So it's a case where the cost of living increases, but income is not increasing. You see that? Or the cost of income increasing is not proportional, to the cost of living. So at that point, you see a lot of people going into debt just to meet up. In fact, especially families that are large, you begin to think of tuition for the children, and a lot of other things. So it's the impact on inflation, especially when it's adverse and the growth is rapid, is not always funny on the average Nigerian.
Okay, so are there things like you mentioned now, larger families? What should they actually do aside? Okay, going into debt is something that is not even sounding nice already. So what should be done? Like, are there things that like I'll say, okay, now this is a problem we've seen. How do we solve it? Like, aside going into debt, you go into debt when you cannot pay back. What happens? Either you be pursued up and down by different facilities and all that. So how do you actually? Is there a way around it?
Okay, so for large families, or generally speaking, first, it will be important that every member of the family in the household who is an adult gets productive.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes you can come into families where you can have like 5 adults and just 2 are productive. Maybe just the father, or just the father and the mother. So what
if they're in school? Like, okay, like when you say an adult now, from 16, 18 17,
and above, yeah.
And they are still in university.
Yeah, so that's where the place of technology comes in.
Okay.
You can leverage on technology to earn online. Yeah, there are many, at least 54 proven ways to earn money online, right? They may not sound, it's not as easy as it's sounding, but if you put in the work, you're going to earn money, right?
Okay.
There are a lot of them. Maybe as we proceed, I'm going to shed more light.
Okay.
But regardless of whether you are a student or not, there is always something you can do for extra income.
Okay, then.
And it will not impact on your primary studies.
Okay,
basically.
then aside people that have adults, now you can see a family having like 6 children. Maybe the first is around 12 or 13 thereabouts. You see the person is not actually big, and then going down, you have 10.
Yeah, those are dependents. Yes.
And those ones are dependent. So what now? None of them can actually maybe be productive at that age.
So, but what can happen? What can happen at that age for families is that you can set the tone for the future of those children.
Okay.
A child of 12 years can begin to learn coding.
Okay.
At that time, their brains are receptive to a lot of things. Their brains are sharp. If you wire them, now, one of the things that impacts on the future of people is happening to them in their formative years. So if a boy of 12 years begins to delve into technology from that age with the right resources around, and which is also where we talk about infrastructure, you are going to see, for example, I've traveled a number of countries, and I see children in other countries doing amazing things at that age.
Okay.
And the difference is not because of their skin color, but because of the exposure they have from time, right? So children at that age can begin to get into trainings. Maybe during holidays, they can learn coding, they can learn software development at that basic level, beginners courses for cyber security. Now, it becomes easier, right, than waiting for them to turn 18, 20 before they start. At that point, responsibilities begin to become much on them.
Okay.
And they may not give the much needed attention to become experts in this field. So the world is delving into digital economy. And so if you have a child of that age, it's important to begin to set the tone for them to become proficient.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. So someone having a business or wanting to have something to do in this 2026, like usually, when it's generally like this, everybody has a very, very powerful, wonderful to-do list, like what they want to achieve in 2026. And most times is also always going towards being financially strong in the new year. So as someone maybe doesn't have anything, you have something, but you still want something by the side, you want to develop a business that you want to stand the test of time. How do you go about it?
Okay, first, there is something in business development, there's something we call need assessment.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, let me take e-commerce, for example. If you want to, e-commerce is simply sourcing for products that are in high demand and selling the same using online digital platforms.
Okay.
So, for example, there are already proven surveys and studies and statistics that can tell you what the people around you are in high need of. And then it will inform the kind of investment you go into, right? So at the baseline of this is information. Sometimes when you have the information, even when you don't have all the resources and you have a viable business, you will be lucky if you have the right, not luck per se, if you put in the needed effort and you're able to develop a systematic business plan that is scalable, you always get people on board.
Wow.
You always get people on board, yes.
So that's like a word of encouragement for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
For people out there. Okay, so we want to continue on this conversation, but let's go on a short break, and after that, we'll continue with the program.
All right.
We've been speaking with Samuel Adams, and together he has been talking about inflation, high cost of living, and what Nigerians should expect in 2026. And yes, if you actually want to start a business, start something to actually get something extra. He has told you what to do, but we will still have more after this short break.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The
Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Yes, welcome back from that break. In case you missed out on the first part of this particular conversation, you've missed because there was a bit of expo on how to get more money. You know, when you get more money, everybody's attention. Okay, we'll be speaking with Samuel Adams before we went on that break, and he has been telling us about inflation and the high cost of living in Nigeria, let's say FCT, and what we should actually expect as citizens and residents of Abuja in 2026. And yes, he told us before the break about what to do, how to improve on yourself, like business-wise, how to go into business and what to look out for to actually be relevant in your field of business, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now going forward, should we expect now in 2026 for prices of things, price of goods to actually stabilize or go down in like the prices should go down, or should we expect the price to go up? Is this something you can actually predict now in January?
Okay, when it comes to those predictions, we can do to an extent on paper. Yeah, we can do on paper. One of the very trusted sources, of theories around economy is the Central Bank of Nigeria. And the Central Bank of Nigeria, according to available data, with consideration to fiscal policies and all of that, is projecting that inflation will drop by more than 8%.
Wow.
Right? So that means we are looking at about 12.94%. As against, about 20-something% that it used to be.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's going to also be, related to a number of factors. We are expecting that the price of petroleum reduces.
Okay.
Now that there's looking like there's a bit of local production coming in from some local refineries, and then we also see countries trying to provide security for local products. It means exportation may not be as juicy as it used to be for petroleum, and the prices also might drop internationally, but locally we should expect a significant drop in fuel prices. And then with the trajectory of combat against insecurity, we should also expect a slight, development and increase in food security.
Okay.
And so, the more food we have, the lesser, the prices in the market. And then the less cost of production too. The more, so we expect a significant reduction, at least from what we have on paper. But there are still other factors that may not be considered, from projections. Like as we are drawing close to the election year, government may tend to spend out of budgets, and all that. So we just hope that Nigeria will get into a place of stability beyond where we are right now.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so should Nigerians be hopeful about the economic improvements in 2026?
Absolutely. We should be hopeful. We should be decisive. Yes, absolutely. We should be hopeful. We should be decisive. And above all, we should wake up. A lot of people are not awake, So, yeah.
Okay, so what key signs should the public watch out for to know the economy is improving? Like when I see this sign, I should know, okay, yes, we're getting there.
Okay, so when you want to look at that, then you are looking at maybe stable exchange rate. Looking at stable exchange rate. You are also looking at cost of food supplies, of course, and then the tax duty on importation of goods, and then of course price of even rent to a large extent.
Oh, rent too. Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
but I wish that sometimes if the government has a very effective price monitoring system, sometimes the increase in price of some goods are unnecessary. Yeah, but because there's no efficient price monitoring system, the masses tend to suffer it. But when you look at all of these signs, it should be a sign that a lot is improving.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
At least 2026 is already looking good.
Yes, amen.
To remain good for each and every one of us.
Amen.
Okay, so welcome. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
We should go on and on because you have a lot of good news for us. Like talking with you now, we're having a sense of rest, relief, and all that from
it's fine.
Every other thing. So we believe that 2026 is looking good already. And yes, you've given us the hints what to look out for to know that the year is actually on a good path for us.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the program. We'll have you come in some other time to actually come and shed more light on what's happening.
It's okay. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so we've been speaking with Samuel Adams. He is a business administrator, like business manager, business everything. You want to go start a business, he's there for you. And he has told you what to do in 2026. Don't just sit down there saying things are hard. There are so many things to do to actually make it easy for you. And we've learned, I have learned if you have not, okay? So let's go on this short break and we'll be right back.
Welcome you on today's ride on the show Good Morning Abuja.
This is Window on Abuja.
We have everything it takes to compete with any nation all across the world.
How do we make it? We are ready to produce.
I've been contributing to the development of your kingdom.
They know my story.
Hello and welcome to Young Hearts.
Our focus today will be on hepatitis B.
Ladylike!
This is Entertainment Gist.
In the 14th century, 15th, 16th century, and even 17th.
That is for the God to cure our greed.
The purpose why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to create humanity.
The Bible talks about a man called Apollos. This is NTA Abuja Channel 5.
See you same time.
And have a great and blessed week ahead.
us to say our goodbyes on the program. As usual, I remain your host the most, Omoide with Erese, and I'll always be here with my bestie.
Je m'appelle Oguntayo Olaniposi Justina.
Speaking French now, from Jordan to Sweden.
Adios.
Yes, this is still Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja. And yes, moving on to the second conversation of today. We just finished the festive season, so many things went down. And before then, usually when it's towards the end of the year, you hear a lot of be careful, how careful can one be? Well, we were able to scale through based on some of these tips that were given to us then, what to do, what not to do, and all that. So now it's 2026. How do we forge ahead? How do we go? What do we do differently from what we did last time? What am I talking about? I'm talking about security, like causes of insecurity. Is there something you do? Is there something I do? Is there something generally we do that actually attracts some of these things that happen to us? So, but I won't be talking about this alone. I have someone here that will be doing justice to this topic, causes of insecurity. And he'll be telling us all we need to know and what to do better. And yes, he is a risk and strategic management analyst. And yes, he will be telling us what to do and the causes of insecurity. Let's meet Basi Ekemini. Welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. Though you didn't tell me your name.
Okay. I didn't do that. Seriously, my name is Gladys.
Okay. Gladys.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me. And I want to say, Gladys, a happy new year to you.
Oh, happy new year to you too.
All Nigerians here at home and abroad. I want to wish them a prosperous 2026.
Yes, so amen. Thank you for
having me.
For wishing me a new year. Now that I'm seeing you this new year, so many things are going to be wonderful.
All right.
Okay,
you.
So like I said, this insecurity issue is something that everyone wants to know more about. Like you want to know what to do and things to do to actually avoid being a target or something, like, if I should put it that way. So before the year ended, 2025, usually towards the end, they will say, do this, so that you'll be safe out there and all that. So, but we want to know what is actually insecurity, if I should say so, in simple terms. What is insecurity?
Thank you very much, Gladys. You see, if you're talking about insecurity, mostly in Nigeria, you see, one of the things that has been a cause of insecurity, I think, is terrorism.
Okay.
And here in Nigeria, you agree with me that the headquarters of terrorism is the Northwest. You understand? And now, what are we doing in regards to address these issues over there in the Northwest? Recently, in the month of December, if you talk about the modalities, in the month of December, we saw a bilateral agreement between the government of Nigeria and that of Saudi Arabia, courtesy of the Honorable Minister of State for Defense. And then you agree with me that will have a long way to go in preventing this a common enemy that is confronting us as a nation. Then in that agreement, contained in that agreement, you agree with me that in areas of technical assistance, most of this military and surveillance equipment, we're in a situation where we are lacking behind some of those things, equipment here in Nigeria. We can easily go to that neighboring country to sort of some of those things so that we'll be able to fight insecurity in our country and our country. And what happened recently also, you agree with me that before now, there was a company called a company called Dicon. Dicon has been 60 years last year, and nobody heard of Dicon. Nobody had any meaningful development from Dicon. But just 2023, with the passage and implementation of Dicon Act 2023 by the president, then you could now see that Dicon has been able to start productions of some of these things, some of this equipment that we were lacking behind, like in terms of ammunitions, in terms of technical support, in terms of safety and boots and the equipment which we are using to prevent these insecurities. Before, We didn't used to have those things in Nigeria here. You could imagine where a situation whereby we were exporting the listeners bullets, which we're supposed to have produce it in Nigeria here, but it wasn't happening. It's just before the passage and the implementation of TICON Act. We now see that TICON has been able to produce some of those things, some of these ammunitions and equipment. So now it has a long way to go, and it's a way to go about in fighting of insecurity in our country.
Okay. So now we want to know actually what actually causes it, because if you don't know the cause, you will not be able to know the solution. So we need to know the cause of this insecurity before we now look at, okay, maybe possible solutions.
Because of insecurity, don't forget, insecurity is a common enemy that's confronting the whole the Nigeria and the whole world, and it's not something a country can face alone. You agree with me that we need support in this regard, right? And I saw the airstrike last year by the US as a welcome development, because whether we like it or not, we need support in this regard. That is why Nigerians are now partnering with some of these countries, Turkish, USA, and America, to see that we'll be able to address this common enemy that is confronting us as a nation. So because of insecurity in Nigeria, one, I would say lack of manpower and police security in some of our rural communities. If you go down to some of our rural communities and local communities there, you'll find out that the police security, they are not enough. Some of them doesn't even have it. So a situation where such lapses are there, there's no how you will not experience insecurity in some of those rural communities. You understand? So what I'm saying now, in essence, is I appreciate Mr. President for a welcome idea, for a welcome development, which he ordered the IGP to withdraw some of these police personnel from our VIPs. That's a welcome development, so that, because police is more or less a 400,000 policemen in the country. So from the broadcast of the IGP, he said he has been able to withdraw about 11,000 policemen from our VIPs. So if 11,000 policemen is spread out already just to protect our VIPs, how about ordinary Nigerians? As far as I'm concerned, there's no Nigerian that deserves to be protected more than any other Nigerians. So that was a welcome development. And you will agree with me that such measures will also add in the development of insecurities in our country.
Okay. So, but we want to continue on this conversation. We want to go on this quick break, and after that, we'll come back and continue the program.
All right.
We've been speaking with Basi Ekemini, and he has been telling us the causes of insecurity. We'll go on this quick break, and after that, we'll continue.
I don't know what it is, but she drives me crazy.
Marriage, a beautiful bond, but not without its battles. Behind every smile is a story. Behind every I do is a journey. Mr. and Mrs., the show that peels back the curtain on real relationships. No scripts, no filters, just truth.
I've become a better husband because I've learned a lot from the mistake of the past.
I had feelings, but I wanted to be sure.
Do I have to kneel down to marry a woman?
No, but just do the right.
Join us every week as we sit down with real couples to talk about the raw, the real, and the redemptive side of marriages. From newlyweds to seasoned partners of 40 years plus, no topic is off limits.
Have you ever been in love?
At the end of the year, he came to the village. I saw, this is the brother I saw that time. He said, please, I want to marry you.
This is modern entertainment. It's an invitation to grow, to heal, and to love again. Mr. and Mrs. is about real love, real struggles, and real hope. Every couple has a story. What's yours? Join us on NTA Channel 5, the Unity Station, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
'Cause all of me loves all of you.
Welcome back. This is still Good Morning Abuja, and yes, I am still with my guest Basi Ekemini, and we are going to still continue with our conversation. If you missed the first part, wow, you really missed, but I'm sure he still has something for you. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Basi, you were talking about some of the things you achieved last year, 2025, and then this is 2026 in the FCT. How do we, like, I know some of these things now, like we're talking about something that we as individuals do to actually attract some of these things to us. So what are those things that you feel this 2026 should be part of our to-do list? If you are doing it before and you want to be on the safe path, you should actually do this. What are those things we need to do to actually be on the safe path?
Oh, all right, all right. There's this say that it usually says, if you see something, you say something. I think that's also a good initiative whereby you assist some of these security agencies by, if you are seeing anything suspicious around you, what do you feel is not supposed to be around a particular environment. It's not bad to call the security agencies and then give you a report what is going on there. So by so doing, it also is some of these insecurities issues, right? And talking about FCT, the security agencies we have in FCT, such police, DSS, and ICPCs, and the rest of it, I think they are doing excellently well in that regards, in making sure the FCT is fine. FCT, during the festive period, we didn't see much of those casualties. So I believe this administration have put in their best in the issues of these insecurities. That is why I appreciate Mr. President, because I strongly believe, vividly, he knows that crimes are local. That is why we have to go back locally and see how we can address these insecurities issues. That's why Mr. President gave approval for the establishment and implementation of forest guards, because he knows crimes are local. So we go locally to see how to address these menace. So now we can see, you are believe with me that the forest guard are already in their positions of making things happening, to see that when these criminals element comes against, they can be able to fight and protect our lives and properties in mostly the rural area and that of the FCT. And now the forest guard they are already on their training in Oshopo. And I learned Mr. President has given the approvals for them to be armed as well, so to be able to tackle these issues of insecurity. But I would say my experience in FCT, because I was here throughout the festive period, I think my experience and everything I've experienced so far compared to the previous administrations and the previous festive periods, I think last year was a very bit beautiful and calm. We had an atmosphere where there's no casualties, and all that. So I think it's better off that way. It's a good move, and that's a sign to show the administration is ready to tackle this a common enemy that is confronting us.
Okay, so looking at lifestyle now, like individual lifestyle, what are those things we need to know as an individual in the FCT? Are there things that we need to cut off? Are there things that we need to start doing if we're not doing it before, to be able to be security conscious?
Yes, there are a lot of things we need to do as a human being. As me and you, there are a lot of things, a lot of measures we need to put in place in this regard. Don't forget, insecurity is a global phenomenon in which even a country can fight it alone. Talk more of me and you. We can't do these things alone. So it's our responsibility to also see that whatever thing that we are seeing around us that is suspicious, we report it to the security agencies. Because if you want to fight about it, you might not be able to do it yourself. So there are some relevant authorities that will be able to put an end to this menace. So reporting what we see suspiciously, I think is a right way to go about it.
Why I asked this question, because there was a time, I think, in an area like that, there's this man that comes into the streets where immediately is entering, the music alone. It's something like what be looking out like, who is that? Who is that? So it was a norm for him. Like anytime he's coming, everybody just that person has come.
Exactly.
It didn't take like months. He was visited, like the whole of the area. Nobody's house was targeted, just him. So I think he attracted kind of this thing to him. So maybe tuning down some of these things, and then what a measure of awareness have actually been taken in the FCT, maybe by you or by some other people, to actually make people be security conscious, as in security aware. Like, what should they do?
What people should do in that regards, is, don't forget we are talking about insecurity, and terrorism is the watchword terrorism is a wash word. You could see the way terrorists are terrorizing even the FCT here. Despite this is a federal capital territory, and then you can imagine what will happen if such can happen here in FCT. You can imagine what will happen in the rural communities there. So I think as a person and a strategic management analyst, I think I will advise Nigerians to be very conscious of their lives, to be very conscious of their well-beings, their environment entirely. All hands need to be on deck. Like this issues of these insecurities, don't forget, the headquarters of banditry, as far as I'm concerned, I think is the Northwest. And then what are the people over there? What are they doing? What are the measures they are doing in putting some things in order to be able to fight against this a common enemy that is confronting us? What are the measures they are doing there? Like, for example, let me take Zamfara State as a case of study. Now, we have a Minister of State for Defense that's from Zamfara State. And then the issues of banditry is more relevant in that particular area. Now we have a Minister of State for Defense who is also an industrial son in Zamfara State. Instead of the governor of the state to rally around the honorable minister to see how to put an end to the common enemy that is confronting them there. Instead, you could see the rivalry between the state governor and the Minister of Defense. Instead of him to rally around the honorable minister to see how to put an end to insecurity that is disturbing the lives of the people, lives and the property of people of Zamfara State. But instead, he's busy awarding contracts, roads contracts over and over again, airport contracts, awarding those things, which you agree with me that if there is no security in your state or in any way, there's no meaningful development that will come into that place. There's no meaningful investor that will come in to invest if there's no security assurance. So in that regards, I think Mr. President is doing well in that regards as well by giving all the state governors security votes. So what are they doing with this money? The issues of insecurity is not just for the federal government alone to tackle it. It's like what you said. It's for me and you, the state governors, and other relevant sectors to also see that we all come out, put our hands on deck to be able to tackle these insecurity issues that is confronting us.
Okay. So you've really told us a whole lot, and I believe the FCT residents have taken notes. The tips you've given us, we're going to put it together and make sure this year 2026 is going to be a good one.
All right.
A safe one for each and every one of us in the FCT.
All right.
So we'll call you some other time. We know that we are always asking for more.
Of course, of course.
You keep giving us tips and all that we need that will help us in 2026. Thanks for coming on the program, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
We've been speaking with Basi Ekemini, and he is a risk and strategic management analyst. And together we've been talking about the causes of insecurity. You've also given us tips, what to do, your lifestyle and all that attracts people to you negatively. You should stop that in this year 2026. And yes, we're going to enjoy it together. Let's go on this short break, and after that, the program continues.
She don't give me something, Roja over. I don't even tell you, governor, like she do me karashika. Make I no feel liver, me way be John Cena. I say, I swear you mine, die. Baby, can I you make your design over my life? As your face they show, now show your shoe design. Now you gon' be my wife, you got to be my wife. For you I paid the price, yeah. Oh Gigi, oh my.
Plenty can from my life, now you I choose. I don't wonder if you everything I bruise. If I do you wrong, my baby boo, I'm sorry. You say I get too many girls, that's on a story. But now you did my mind, I swear, say now you did my mind. I swear I know the lie, I dream about you all the time. Cause girl, you blow my mind, and I know 59. Oh girl, you do me bad. Yeah.
Oh Gechi, ama.
Nelo my baby, oh girl, come on. No, no fair, no good lie, I need your love for my.
I'm be femme genyeki, oh be mo imani.
sure you enjoyed it like I was enjoying here in the studio. You know, they say all work and no play makes Gladys a dull girl. So yes, I enjoyed my time with that musical. Next is our cooking segment, the part I love most. You know, I want to actually shed off some weight, but I also want to eat too. So which one should I do? Okay, let's see what we have today in the kitchen.
In today's recipe, I'm going to show you how to make homemade mayonnaise. Mayonnaise can be prepared at home, therefore you can skip your regular store-bought mayonnaise and make your own at home with just few ingredients. You can use a stick blender, your regular blender, or a food processor to make mayonnaise. I'm going to show you how to use your regular blender to make your homemade mayonnaise. All we've got for the mayonnaise are 1 egg, just a medium lemon, half a teaspoon of pepper flakes, 1 tablespoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of oil. If you are making mayonnaise, it's best to use odorless oil. So we are going to start by bringing the egg into the blender. The whole egg. I'm going to add in the salt, sugar, and pepper. Now squeeze the lemon juice into it as well. Then the last thing you're going to be adding is the oil. So I'm going to add a little oil into it. I'm not going to add all the oil. I'm just going to go ahead and switch on my blender. I'll be adding more oil into it. So you add the oil a little at a time and keep blending. This is what we keep doing until the mayonnaise becomes sticky. Instead of using lemon juice, vinegar works as well. So you can use vinegar in place of lemon, or you can use lemon in place of vinegar. So as we keep blending, the mayonnaise is becoming thick. So we add more oil. Let me just show you the consistency. It's becoming thick, but we are going to keep blending until it becomes thicker. So add more oil and blend. So at this point, I won't be adding oil anymore because the mayonnaise is already thickened. You can see this is what we've got. Very thick. I'll just blend this one more time and we are done. I hope you can see. So we are going to empty this into a container. You can pour your mayonnaise into an airtight jar or a bowl, then preserve it in the fridge, use it within 2 days. So guys, as you can see from this video, our homemade mayonnaise is very thick. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.
This year 2026, we eat healthy. Okay, next is our weather forecast. What will the weather look like today? Let's find out on our weather forecast. Yes, now you know what to do with that weather forecast. And it brings us to the end of another interesting episode of Good Morning Abuja. I'm sure you had a wonderful time just like I did here. If you did, join us again, same time, same station. Until I come your way again, I remain Gladys Kudambu. Be safe out there.